Gun culture in America is deeply rooted in its history, identity, and politics, shaped by a mix of constitutional principles, historical context, and social attitudes. Here's a concise overview based on current understanding. Historical context. Second Amendment. The U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment, 1791, states, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state." Posts on X and historical analyses highlight ongoing debates over whether this protects individual gun ownership or collective militia rights. The 2008 Supreme Court case District of Columbia vs. Heller affirmed an individual right to bear arms for self-defense. Frontier legacy. Early Americans relied on firearms for survival, hunting, and protection in a vast, often lawless frontier. This fostered a culture of self-reliance and firearm proficiency. Militias and revolution. The American Revolution reinforced the idea of an armed populace as a check against tyranny, a sentiment that persists in modern gun culture. Current landscape. Gun ownership. The U.S. has the highest per capita gun ownership globally, with estimates of 120.5 firearms per 100 people. Small Arms Survey, 2017. Roughly 32% of adults report owning a gun. Pew Research, 2020. Cultural significance. Guns symbolize independence, self-defense, and personal freedom for many, particularly in rural areas. Hunting, sport shooting, and recreational gun use are widespread, with organizations like the NRA promoting these activities. Urban vs. rural divide. Gun culture varies by region. Rural areas often view guns as tools for protection or recreation, while urban areas, facing higher gun violence, lean toward stricter regulations. Political polarization. Guns are a flashpoint in U.S. politics. Conservatives often frame gun ownership as a fundamental right and resist restrictions, citing self-defense and government overreach concerns. Liberals advocate for stricter laws to curb gun violence, pointing to mass shootings and urban crime rates. Key issues. Gun violence. The U.S. has significantly higher gun violence rates than other developed nations, with over 40,000 gun-related deaths in 2023. Gun Violence Archive. Mass shootings, like those at Sandy Hook 2012 or Uvalde 2022, fuel calls for reform. Legislation. Federal and state laws vary widely. Some states, e.g., Texas, have permissive laws, like constitutional carry, while others, e.g., California, enforce strict regulations. Recent laws, like the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act 2022, aim to close loopholes but face resistance. NRA and advocacy. The National Rifle Association and similar groups wield significant influence, advocating for gun rights. Counter-groups like Everytown for gun safety push for reforms like universal background checks. Mental health and crime. Debates often link gun violence to mental health or socioeconomic factors. Critics argue that focusing solely on mental health deflects from addressing gun access. Social dynamics. Media and pop culture. Guns are prominent in American media, from westerns to action films, reinforcing their cultural mystique. Video games and social media also amplify gun culture, with X posts often showcasing firearms or debating policies. Demographics. Gun ownership is higher among white men, rural residents, and Republicans, though increasing among women and minorities for self-defense. Pew Research, 2020. Youth movements. Post-Parkland 2018, young activists like March for Our Lives have pushed for gun control, contrasting with pro-gun youth groups emphasizing Second Amendment rights. Global comparison. Unlike most developed nations with strict gun laws, the U.S.'s unique combination of constitutional protections, historical precedent, and cultural attitudes makes reform contentious. For example, countries like Australia implemented buybacks after mass shootings, reducing gun deaths, but such measures face skepticism in the U.S. due to cultural and political resistance. If you want specific data, like recent X posts on gun culture or deeper analysis of a subtopic, e.g., mass shootings or gun laws, let me know, and I can dig deeper or search for real-time insights.